Good evening, I'm Shaniqua Robinson, and here are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. 3 murders on the 4th of July weekend, a ferry runs aground near St. Thomas, and our special athletes return from Greece. These stories and more are coming up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, a popular basketball coach was shot and killed on St. Croix, and 2 other murders have occurred on St. Thomas. News Channel 8's Wes Malls files this report.
Thank you very much, Shaniqua. Just horrible news. For the 4th of July weekend, I don't know how white and blue it was, but it certainly was red, as our homicide counts in the territory goes to 22 and 16 on St. Croix. His name was Coach Moto. Everybody knows this guy. I've even done a story with him in JFK about the lights being on. He's a community activist. He worked at Golden Rock Pharmacy. His name is Darron Francis, 40 years old, from JFK. First, let's go to Melody Rames, VIPD, and get the official version, and then we're going to take it to the streets.
Police on St. Croix are investigating the shooting death of 40-year-old St. Croix native Darron Francis of the JFK housing community. St. Croix Police Chief Christopher Howell said police were alerted to the shooting minutes after midnight on Monday, July 4th, by a concerned citizen who walked into the Anselmo Marshall Command in Christiansted and reported a man lying motionless in a private driveway. Francis' body was observed by police lying in the road of the Randall Lockhart Elementary School in Estate Orange Grove. The body had multiple gunshot wounds. Francis was dressed in a blue short pants, a white shirt, and sandals. Police believe the body may have been in that location for several hours, according to Chief Howell, but a medical examiner's report would be needed to confirm that, Howell said. Emergency medical technicians removed the body from the scene, and police recovered several shell casings from the area during their investigation. Chief Howell reminds the public that there is a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of any murder suspect, and anyone with any information on this or any other murder can call detectives at 712-6075, 712-6037, 712-6077, or you can call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Thank you very much, Melody. Now here's what we know from the streets. We have reports at about 6:30 or so in the evening, possibly a little later, that Coach Moto or Darron Francis had a truck and put it in this area, file footage that you're watching now, by Pueblo, Golden Rock area. You know, he used to work for the pharmacy there. Now, why would he leave his truck and then go to the area pointed there up the hill, right to where I am, here in this quiet street, which is flanked behind me with condo after condo, raining, thunderstorm, and lightning? Why would he leave his truck there to come here behind Randolph Lockhart School? Is it a Lover's Lane area back there? We understand a couple found the body perhaps hours later. Multiple gunshots, apparently, shell casings found near the school. Forensic detectives alike, they've got their job cut out for them today. Let's see what we come up with later on. For now, Shaniqua, this is all we know. But it doesn't stop here. Let's take it to St. Thomas, where we had 2 more dead. And let's take it to Melody Rames as she talks about a 57-year-old named Calvin Dow and another man in his 40s, apparently both these murders unrelated.
Major crime detectives on St. Thomas are investigating 2 separate fatal shootings that occurred in the early morning hours of Monday, July 4th. Police continue to search for the suspects in these cases. The first shooting occurred at about 4:30 a.m. in Estate Thomas, near the Value Food Deli. The victim was found unresponsive, lying face down in the roadway with gunshots to his body. He was later identified as 57-year-old Calvin Dow of Estate Thomas. The second shooting occurred minutes before 6 a.m. in an area known as Soto Town, Interstate Contact. Police have not released the name of the victim pending their contact of next of kin. The deceased is described as a Hispanic male, possibly in his mid-40s, according to detectives. He was also found with multiple gunshots to his body and was unresponsive when police arrived. Emergency medical technicians removed both bodies from the scenes. Assistant Police Commissioner Raymond L. Hyman reminds the community that there is a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of any murder suspect. If you have any information on these murders, please contact Major Crime Detectives on St. Thomas at 642-8499, 714-9202, or you can call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Thank you once again, Melody. If you know anything about these 3 homicides, you should call 1-800-222-TIPS or 911 immediately. Here we are in Orange Grove, just a few feet away from what used to be Dunstan School. Now it's Lockhart School. Coach Moto, Darren Francis, dead at the age of 40. God help us all. In Orange Grove, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
We now understand that Devon Francis' truck had a substantial amount of drugs inside. That information is from the Virgin Islands Police Department. In other news, a ferry ran aground during the St. John Carnival festivities over the weekend. We now go to Roberto Castrada of the Coast Guard in Puerto Rico for the details.
Coast Guard rescue crews aboard a 25-foot response boat from Boat Forces St. Thomas arrived on scene with the passenger ferry and working with local emergency responders who also arrived on their vessels from the National Park Service and St. John Rescue, as well as Good Samaritan vessels, were able to coordinate the safe removal of all 102 people on board the passenger ferry. They completed transferring the people at approximately 4 a.m. This morning and transported them to Red Hook Harbor in St. Thomas. Currently, Coast Guard personnel are on scene with the vessel, conducting assessments to determine if there's any contamination in the water and what's the way ahead as far as the salvage and removal of the vessel, working in close coordination with the owner of the vessel, and that's the process we're conducting at this time. The cause of the grounding is currently under investigation, and we're going to be working with local authorities and entities such as NOAA to ensure that this is done safely and properly. Coast Guard watchstanders in Sector San Juan received a 911 telephone call from an emergency operator in the U.S. Virgin Islands and a radio call from the master of the Royal Miss Belmar, who notified the grounding of the passenger ferry on the northeastern end of Great St. James Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands at approximately 10 p.m. on Monday.
A Golden Grove inmate has been arrested for assault. Here's Melody Rames of the VIPD for the information.
Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives on St. Croix arrested 20-year-old Kareem Hughes on Friday, July 1st at about 2:15 p.m. and charged him with 2 counts of assault. Second, carrying or using a dangerous weapon during the commission of a crime of violence, promoting prison contraband, and aggravated assault and battery upon a police. The incidents occurred on May 23rd at the Golden Grove Correctional Facility, where Hughes is an inmate. The arrest was based on a warrant signed on June 30th by VI Superior Court Magistrate Miguel Camacho. According to the affidavit, Hughes struck a corrections officer in the face with a chair and cut the officer in his hand with a shank while being taken to his prison cell following a court appearance. Hughes was held on a $35,000 bail and returned to the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility pending further court action.
Thank you, Melody Rames. When we come back, special athletes back from the Olympics.